Yes, indeed. Think with Logic TV right here on the Bossman Radio Network, the Bossman ENT group. You know what time it is. It's time for us to break down for you things in a logical fashion because we think with logic, not with emotion. Follow us on Twitter at THNK with Logic TV. Also Instagram, Think with Logic TV, all together. Email, bossmanshow@gmail.com, but also you can hit us up at thinkwithlogictv@gmail.com. Also, follow Erica and her backwards name on Twitter at Asaya85 and follow my man at My TrueSpeech and follow his music, man. Family Grind, if they want to play fresh, hit up his YouTube channel. You got to hit that up. My TrueSpeech, all right? All right, we got something for you, too. Bossman Show YouTube, get your Brave sound, Tomahawk Chop. Get your NBA press conferences, NFL people talking, college folks talking, head bobbing, like the feds watching. And, of course, you know how to hit us up on YouTube. Make it happen. Subscribe to that channel. Think with Logic TV because we do what? Think with logic, not with emotion. So, Erica and Speech, what is good with you both?
It's chilling.
I am feeling good because tonight's show is going to be a special show about business and how individuals whom we thought had sense have known it all. Individuals who thought we knew business had no it all. So it's what a great show, and we may be joined by our man Nique, who has not been fired. See, people think he's been fired. He's been having other obligations, so he will be here if he can. If he can, won't he? Won't. It's kind of like an agreement versus a contract. You either sign the agreement or contract or whatever. You know, you do what you're gonna do. So, Erica, I hear that you have a situation from one of our listeners who emailed us an agreement that was misinterpreted or misread or just somehow not understood as a contract. So, Erica, please break it down for us, read us this agreement so we can kind of, as listeners and Speech and myself, we can kind of delve into it and take it step by step. Why these people are complete and utter buffoons who don't think with logic, they think with emotion and sheer stupidity. No business whatsoever. Break it down.
All of that is correct. This individual emailed us at thinkwithlogictv@gmail.com to basically talk about a recent business venture that he decided to go into. He got a few of his, I wouldn't say friends, I would say more acquaintances than anything from I guess it was a show. Like, I'm paraphrasing. I guess it was a show that was similar or in the same business as him, but they were doing music business pretty much. And he sent out what is called an operating agreement to these individuals that basically is it's a promotional agreement from what I read on it. But it's pretty much that you promise to promote each other's work. As long as you promote each other's songs, kind of like what Jay just did for TrueSpeech, only it was a mutual thing. So as long as you promote each other's music on everybody's like Facebook pages, Twitter, all that good stuff, it's cool. And if you decide to go on somebody else's album, from what I read, it was like if you go on somebody else's album, make sure that you associate yourself with this particular brand. And that sounded pretty simple to me. I mean, and it wasn't with the contract, and we're going to get into it more, but basically with the contract it says I, and then a cute little space for your name, promise, or, you know, vow, or whatever, that you're going to do this, that, and the other. And then party B is going to do this, that, and the other. From what I'm reading on this promotion agreement, it has none of that. It just states what everybody needs to do, And then at the bottom, it has 2 lines, one for the new people, the associates that he had, and then one for him. But apparently there was just issues. There was mass confusion, emails going back and forth. Nobody was going directly to this guy about what he wrote. They were talking amongst themselves, and then they finally decided to go one by one to him, talking about it was a contract and they don't know, I'm not sure, and nowhere in this document that I'm reading right now says the word contract. Like, if you've ever had an apartment, your lease is a contract. It wasn't like this. It wasn't like a lease. So, I don't know. And we also got, let's see, he sent photos of their comments to him when they finally got to him. One person, do you want me to get into the comments too, Jay, or just the...
Let us welcome Nique on the line first. Nique, what's good, brother?
Yo, what's up, man? How y'all feeling?
Good. How are you, Nique?
What's going on, bro?
I'm all right, man. I have issues now. I'm back on it.
No doubt. Well, Nique, we're discussing agreements versus contracts, and we have an issue with promotional agreements where they went south because people can't read, they can't think with logic, they think with emotion, they have no business whatsoever, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Here we go. This is my second Erica. I didn't hear anything in that agreement about contract, exclusivity, or it being binding, or that you can you're bound to that piece of paper. It's more or less saying, if you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Promote me, I promote you. It's something with this brand. I have your back. If I'm with you, I got your brand's back. So you mean tell me, jabronis out here getting tight and saying they can't, quote, sign anything they ain't profiting from, or that's a contract, essentially a contract. Really?
That's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened, and I don't understand, because if you made it past middle school, as far as English is concerned, none of this even looks like a contract. Like, in the music business, it'd be one thing if you were jumping on somebody else's album and never once mentioned that you were a part of fill-in-the-blanks label, or if you did it without, I guess, quote-unquote, permission or something. That's one thing. But this agreement is just, like you said, you scratch your back, or you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Wow.
We promote
Speech, your take. Speech,
I feel
this situation right here.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with a promotional agreement. It's definitely a difference between a promotional agreement and a contract. And me being in the music business, I can definitely say that you're not gonna profit from everything that you do. A lot of things are just for marketing and just to get your name out there and just for the simple sake of promotion. I've done quite a few things for free, just for marketing purposes. You know what I'm saying? You don't always profit from everything that you do, and people are so driven behind this idea, like, all right, if I do something, if I say I'm doing this, if I'm doing this type of business, I got to get paid from it, so I'm not signing a paper. Well, I've signed contracts to do shows that had no money involved whatsoever. It's just, as an artist, my obligation was, all right, this is what I am going to bring to the table. What are you going to bring to the table? Just so we have a clear understanding of what's happening. You got to see that in writing before anybody does anything. And it's not a legally binding contract. It's just a writer. Like, this is what this is supposed to be, and this is what it's supposed to be. And then you can expressly explain that within the writing, like, hey, there's no money involved, bro, but, just so you know what's up and I know what's up.
Exactly. Nique, your take on this, brother, what you heard so far?
From what I heard, people need to start reading between the lines of what's supposed to be going down, and just I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine type of deal, and you don't understand that's what it is, really. That's what needs to go down right there. I really don't know, because, contracts are a whole different other monster anyway. That's something that you might need a lawyer to set that out.
It depends on who you are as a person. So it's just one of the things you really just gotta think before you even have a. This is one thing you gotta think of before you do it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's kind of crazy, guys. Like, Erica, read some of the bad responses in response to this promotion agreement. Who people out there is not signing, they're going to profit allegedly. I don't understand why I'm signing this contract. Essentially a contract. I'm signing anything that's essentially a contract. And do we have a special one to talk about after that? We have two special cases to talk about after we hit this. So, Erica, go on with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at what these responses are now, and one chick started off wrong completely. She said, read up on the contract, so already incorrect. I'm not comfortable with all these parameters right now because I don't want to get locked into anything, especially something I'm not getting money from. LOL. Wow. LOL in a business.
Wow. LOL in a business response? We'll hit that later.
Right, already. And then, this person really didn't read it because they said I also may want to do this other artist's album one day down the road. I still want to continue with our relationship, and I already do most of what's in the contract anyway. But I'm not interested in signing right now. Yeah, that I have no idea. And I mean, really, the guy's response was, "It's not a contract. There's nothing legally binding you from doing anything with anybody else." And the response to that was, LOL, it's cool. I'm not sure why suddenly there is a need for a contract, LOL, but hey, I agree with you. You know, we're in the same boat. Is there a time limit to this agreement? So, okay, they added agreement to their text now, but they said, is there a time limit on the agreement? I know you said it's not legally binding, but, you know, how long does it last? How long does this contract last? So they went back to the whole contract business, and now they're asking for time limits, and, yeah, it's just ridiculous. And the LOL. It's not a funny matter to the guy who wrote the promotional agreement. And I don't understand somebody who would say, no, I don't want free promo of my label, or I don't want free promo for my mixtape. I don't understand that person. I don't get it.
Speech. Go ahead, brother. Speech. Well, Nique, you go, brother.
What? What did you say?
I said, pick up where Erica left off after this young lady's ridiculous response to the promotional agreement.
Was she having an LOL?
Yeah, she said LOL at least 3 times, 3 or 4 times between these two text messages.
I don't think she took the whole thing seriously. That's what I think. I wouldn't want to do another business deal with that person ever, just because you're going to LOL it.
Exactly. Just because it's in a text message doesn't mean that he wasn't serious about their business agreement. Notice I said agreement. It's like it's not a contract, but it's definitely an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
agreement.
That's something that you can't do. Speech, are you with us, brother?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Yeah, you pick up on that as well, bro.
I mean, it's just it's kind of funny. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I'm trying not to laugh about it, but it's just kind of funny because the whole idea of an agreement is just that, an agreement. You know, if it was anything more than that, then it would have been expressly stated in this agreement. I mean, this is coming down to simple business principles of conducting a business that is unconventional. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people look at things that you sign or things that you put your name on so much as a legally binding agreement, and it's not. It's a lot of times this is what we're just laying out what we're doing here just so we can both see it. I mean, you know, everybody, of course, has the right to engage in it or not engage in it, but at the end of the day, it's like if you really think you're going to get paid for everything you do when you're in a non-conventional business, especially one like entertainment, you're fooling yourself. So if that's your motivation, then you kind of need to rethink what you're doing here. Because trust me, starting off, you're not going to see a great profit from what you're doing. So what do? You partner up with people who are in the same business. You know, you market each other. You help each other out. You enter into an agreement to eliminate any misunderstandings as least as possible. You know what I'm saying? Of course, misunderstandings are going to happen. It's human nature. But at the end of the day, if you have something to where you both know what you're doing, then bam, that cuts that down on minimum. And then it allows people to really see what's on the table and allows both parties to help elevate each other's brand. So, I mean, her LOL text message is like, we discussing business. Ain't no LOLs in there. Nah, we talking business. You have a certain way you send out business emails and messages and a certain business etiquette, especially if you're talking business. But everybody doesn't know business, so, I mean, you know, it is what it is.
And there's an obvious thing here, with not knowing business, and also a few others. Like I said, it was basically, if you sign a contract, you're ridiculous, you're out the frame, and you need help. And quite frankly, sir, I'm glad that you left them alone because pretty much they need to be around. They can't understand you was on trying to get them to promote with you, not sign a contract. There was no there was no herein by lives, all that kind of legal mumbo jumbo to, you know, make it sound all proper and stuff. Wasn't in there. But that is all to the good. Also, another situation we have, you know, LOL and LAMO in the business conversation. That's ridiculous. That's not even a business practice. First of all, it's not a practice I even like. I'm not an LOL or LAMO or LLS or LLH or that is, or all these. Because guess what? I don't believe in lying to people because I highly doubt, sir, you get a certain text, you're actually laughing out loud. I have doubts about that. Erica will tell you, Nique will tell you, I don't really laugh out loud about anything, really. I take it in stride, you know? I mean, like, I don't laugh out loud at anything. I don't know nobody really rolling in the floor laughing their asses off. I don't know anybody doing that. But that's another show. But you definitely don't incorporate those into business vernacular and business talking. LOL, I don't have a contract. LOL, really? I think that sealed that person's fate right there. If it was that would have sealed their fate. You LOL me in business conversation? Nah, player, you out of here, player. Was it a female or a male, Erica?
In that particular case, it was a female.
Well, player would have been out of luck. There's nothing. I can't accept that. You know, so yeah. Anybody has a type of take on that? Proper business communication, and LOL is not part of it. What are some more do's or don'ts? Any one of you three feel free to expound on do's or don'ts of business communication. Feel free.
Well, I have one. There was another situation recently, as far as locations to have a business meeting. And needless to say, if this location, especially if you choose to have it at a restaurant, it should never be at a place where maybe the waiters or waitresses have on very little clothing or super tight clothing. It should never be in a sports bar type situation, especially when there's like a high-profile game on, which it usually is. That's why sports bars exist. That was irking me in a special way this week. It's like, that's a major don't. Why would you have a business meeting in a loud location? That's up there with LOLing a business text or even a business email. So what do y'all think about that?
That's ridiculous. You have a business meeting anywhere other than a library or a Starbucks or somewhere sensible and normal, I can't respect the speech, Nique. I mean, that's ridiculous.
It's definitely a place where you wouldn't normally have a business meeting. If I need to talk business, then I need to, iron out something important. So I'm not concerned with the game. I'm not concerned with, getting a couple brews or whatever. To me, you have a business meeting where two people can sit down and really iron out some details here. Now, afterwards, when the meeting is over, then the meeting is over. And, things are what they are. But from my standpoint, if the dude say, hey, meet me at Hooters or something to iron out the business, I'm like, dog, no. Like, we got to talk business. We have to have some things out here. We can go after, but let's dot our T's and, cross our T's and dot our I's and get that straight before we try to engage in anything else.
Nique.
Man, as far as I'm concerned, I'll never do a business meeting anywhere where I'm going to be distracted by a game or anything of that nature. That's how I feel about it. I might do somewhere quiet. If it goes, man, you can rent a room, a hotel or something. I don't know, man. Not a hotel room, like an office room or something. But, I just don't think, a sports bar or something like that would work. It just don't sound like to me.
Yeah, how can you get work done at Hooters? Now, me personally, as being a booty man, it wouldn't do anything to me. I wouldn't be distracted by it. I'm not impressed by Hooters. That doesn't impress me.
I've been to a couple Hooters. I really wasn't impressed, period. It's bad plastic surgery in Hooters, to be honest. I've had a couple botched boob jobs, but other than that, come on, man.
And the wings ain't even that good in Hooters. The wings aren't that good. They don't taste that great.
Nah.
Wow, the food isn't even that good?
Average.
I've never been
Nope.
there.
The food is below average.
Basically, I'd rather go to Fridays. I'm just being honest. I'm just being 100% honest. It's hyped up. Hooters is hyped up. And especially if a guy was like, yo, bro, meet me at Hooters at a business meeting, my answer's going to be no. I'm like, dude, no. Meet me at Panera Bread or something. Like, come on, let's get this done. Figure out what we got to figure out. And then I'm not going to go get terrible food with horrible plastic surgery. Like, let's go somewhere else.
Exactly. So, people, I'm going to need you all not to have business meetings at ridiculous places like Hooters or even Donks in Nashville. You don't want to have meetings there. That's a bad idea. I'm just saying. So we have that going for us as well. Also, yes, we have to tackle this. This is definitely an interesting situation here because, paraphrasing is a new thing out here that people understand. Erica, tell me something, Erica. Tell me something real quick, anything. I don't care.
Wow. Let's see. Wow, I can't even think of anything. Okay, I just went and saw The Butler, and it was awesome. It was a great movie.
Okay, here you go. According to a person close to the situation, the movie Butler was went and seen. It was alright, but really what gave me the movie because I ain't no movie person. I only watch movies that involve Triple X, Pinky, and Big Brazilian Orgy. See, it's a paraphrase.
All right. Somebody
That's a
needs to
paraphrase.
handle the rest.
That is a horrible paraphrase.
But it's a paraphrase, though. I didn't actually say what Erica told me. I added my own spin to it. I took her information, paraphrased it, and put the Bossman twist on it, which in turn is a, quote, paraphrase. So if I tell Speech that a certain website is full of crap, he can go say, well, I heard from a source that a certain website is full of crap, and this person has a fake name as well. That's a paraphrase. See what I'm saying? You know?
Very true. Very true.
You know, there are people out here who allegedly change E's to A's because it sounds better. They sound like they're French. You know, allegedly. I'm just saying.
I mean, me personally, I really don't like people twisting my words. Like, you know, I'm very clear. And I'm very cognizant of what I say. So when I say something, I know what I said. I know exactly what I said. So I really don't like people paraphrasing my words. Like, oh, Speech said, well, look, if you didn't hear from Speech or you didn't hear me say it, then don't pay attention to it. Because I really don't like when people misconstrue things that I say.
I completely
agree.
Yeah, if you didn't hear it directly from me or you didn't see it on my Facebook wall or anything like that, or you didn't hear it from somebody close enough to me that wouldn't completely chop and screw what I said, then don't even worry about it. Just act like you never heard it.
Exactly.
I mean, if you don't hear it from me, it ain't for me. That's how I feel about it. If it didn't come directly from my mouth and you didn't see me say it, it didn't come from me.
And to me, you know, it's like it even goes a little deeper than that. It's like when people paraphrase things, and then especially when people get other information about something I may or may not have said from other people, it kind of makes it seem like that person feels like I wouldn't say it to them directly. And to me, you know, grown man, you got something to say it. You know, period. So to me, once again, if you did not hear it from me, trust me, I didn't say it because I would say whatever to anybody. But a lot of people don't understand that rapport that grown men should have with each other. Not even I'm even transcending past grown men, just adults. Just as an adult, once you reach a certain age, it's like all that he said, she said. No, if you got something to say to somebody, then say it. You know, just be adult enough to handle it. That's just my take on it. You know, everybody don't think like Speech.
Exactly. And don't take a paraphrase and make it like that's what the person said, that person said. You know, the situation out there where we have a situation where a paraphrase was made to be believed that that's what the person said, that person said, and not realizing they paraphrase or use the paraphrasal situation, which goes in line because according to sources, this person is a living, breathing bad take, okay? And with horrible takes that nobody likes, that people are glad they don't come around any longer. That's what sources tell me. You know, I'm just saying. But fact of the matter is this. Also, we have here business manipulation. This is a big topic right here. Business manipulation. This is going to be great. This is people. Write this down. Get your notepad. This is going to be one of my best takes ever. Okay? Here we go. If you are let's say you want to be, I want to be a sports journalist. And you write for a certain site that I would say, but I'm not trying to I'm saying something I shouldn't say, but you get the point. I don't want to be a BSing, with something wrong with a toe. You know what I'm saying? But you feel me? Well, you catch my drift on that one. All right, here you go. You have that. You want to be a writer. You want to be a journalist, blah, 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 Skippy. But the situation is this. You think you have freedom to do is what you want to do, that you don't have any, quote, rules and or regulations, which, first of all, if you're writing for a certain site and you're a certain aspiring writer, guess what? You do have an agreement with that person. It may be verbally or it may be in an email, maybe in a text, but there is an agreement there. And for anybody to tell you that you're not free, that you can do whatever you want to do, that's a lie. You are not free, because guess what? Even when you do what you want to, guess what? There are limits to your freedom. And if you write for a certain site and you're a certain writer, guess what? You're not free to do what you want to do. You have to write your articles a certain way, a certain kind of way, a certain kind of phraseology. You have to have them posted at a certain time. You have to have so many posts a day, which tells me you have a rule and a regulation. So as a site owner of a certain site and a certain writer for a certain site, where do you miss that you all have an agreement together of some sort? You have an agreement you give your writers that they're not free. And I'm pretty sure if you write for the competition and not write for you for the same sites as the competition sites they post for you, then you would not be happy as a certain site owner. You see what I'm saying? If you're not writing a certain way, writer, you won't be there anymore. I mean, my God, how hard is it? You have an agreement with your writers. They have an agreement with you. They don't do it a certain way, they're gone. Think with logic, people. Erica, Speech, Nique, take it from here, one of y'all.
Oh, wow. Okay, as a person who has a blog, I have a music blog, the Music Industry Critique, shameless plug, the MikeSoundsNice.com. I am the primary writer on that blog. Every once in a while, literally every few months, I'll have somebody write a post for me or write an article for me. But there, at least for me anyway, there is no agreement or, like earlier, no contract for it. However, if I had a staff of writers on my blog, I'm expecting them not to write for another blog, especially not another music blog. It's that simple. And I may not be big enough that I feel like I have to have that in writing, but like Jay said, that's a given. If I have a gang of writers on my blog and I'm trying to build it up to something, no, I would sincerely hope that you would think, you know what, I'm not going to write for anybody else. Or maybe Erica wouldn't be pleased if I wrote for somebody else. So I don't understand how suddenly that's not some semblance of an agreement. I don't understand.
Exactly.
Is basic English just dying off? Basic English, context clues, and common sense. Those three things are dying off.
Yes, indeed. Nique, your take.
Man, this is one of the things that you got to understand. I mean, you got to understand your positional role or whatever you're supposed to be doing, right? Am I correct? I mean, if you're starting something new, don't you got to understand, don't you got guidelines or something to this business? You just can't just run up in there and just think everything's going to run itself. I don't understand it at all, man. I ain't going to do a business with no plan. I don't get it, man.
Exactly. And these people believe that they're free to do it. Okay, this person believes they don't have an agreement with their people, and also the people believe that they're free to do what they want to do. They don't realize there's limits to their freedom. They don't realize they're not really free to do what they want to do, that they're under that certain owner's rules and regulations that they claim they don't have. Seriously? I don't understand that. How can you, as a person in business, claim to you don't have an agreement with people who, quote unquote, work for you that you don't pay but you benefit from? I'm just saying.
This don't make any sense at all, man. None at all.
Okay, we have a business there for you. Say the example saying we have Bossman Sports Incorporated, Bobby Skippy, a site. Okay, I'm head of it, Bossman. I hire writers that I don't pay, but they write stories for me, post them a certain way, a certain time of day, certain many a day. But guess what? I'm benefiting from all the clicks and all the affiliate marketing money comes in my pocket, but you get nothing. Okay? That's wrong. I'm using flunkies to make me money. Save me time to go take flights to wherever I want to go take flights to. Buy me new cars, buy me new dogs, or whatever I want to buy, condos, whatever. But my writers have nothing. But, I'm helping the people. I help people out. I'm doing them a favor. So what did the writers of this supposed Bossman Sports get, hypothetically? What do they get? Maybe Eric and Nique, a few followers on Instagram and Twitter, maybe? What are they really gaining? A credential here and there? But I'm getting all the money. I don't mind you getting some followers and credential. I'm getting all the money. You get all my money. So with that business model, as a writer, how do you not see a flaw in that? And how do you not see as a writer, you're not free to do what you want to, that you're working for this person without a fee? Now, in the entertainment business, online media, radio, you do a lot of things for free, but you see your owner or on the site, a.k.a. Bossman, in this example, having all these different lavish trips and money, but I have nothing. How would you feel as a writer? When you see that's a jacked up business arrangement, and how I'm really getting over and you're struggling, you're doing all my dirty work for me, and I'm getting over, do whatever I want to do, but I don't have an agreement with you, no rules or regulations. But I'm pretty sure in that example you heard some rules, you heard some regulations, you heard some agreements, you heard some law stuff. So break it down, guys. Feel free. One of you feel free. I don't care.
Man, I'm too busy watching this Denver game and seeing how horrible Baltimore is looking. But, that's kind of messed up to see that I'm not getting some part of the success and I'm one instrumental part of the team. That is kind of messed up right there. It won't even make me want to write for you again. This is real messed up for me. I just won't write no more. For you, probably, but for somebody else, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be mad as hell too. Especially, if I'm not getting any real compensation for it except for a couple extra Twitter followers and a few more hits on, my own Facebook page or whatever. That's still not money. And if you're gaining money from what I'm doing for you, yeah, that's a problem for me. Or that would be a problem for me. So whoever's out there doing it for free and watching their manager essentially get bank, I feel so sorry for you.
Exactly. And how do you say to anyone that you're free to do whatever you want to do? No, you're not. I'm pretty sure. And this also, the certain site owner does not believe the competition. He believes in, quote, allegedly helping the competition, being helpful to people. He feels he doesn't have rules and regulations, but he really does. I'm just saying, people, if you're in business, how do you have a take like that? Or is it that this person takes as they go to fit whatever argument or squabble they're in? Is that really what the true problem is, Eric and Nique? They don't really believe what they're selling, but they...
Their actions are telling me that they're just in it for themselves. Like the whole, I'm trying to help other people. Okay, that's cute, but it sounds like you're trying to build your own personal brand instead of the bigger picture. Like, from what you said, it sounds like, okay, even if my blog or my label or whatever it is, even if it falls off tomorrow, I still got the brand of me. And I am going to sell me to the highest bidder. So, F my brand, F anybody who helped build my brand, because my primary brand is me. That's what it sounds like your example is saying with his actions.
Does it sound like this person is a, quote, egotistical maniac?
Yep.
Does he have the Brett Favre syndrome?
What's funny is I was thinking, he's very Kim Kardashian. But, yeah.
You know, the T.O. syndrome. I mean, it's funny, people. Business is not hard business. See, I can do business with my friends, Nique, Eric, and Speech, because they think with logic, not with emotion. They're not easily manipulated by a manager who sells me crock a bull, and I go for it because you think you give some exposure. What has the exposure got you? And while I'm on the topic, a lot of people, when you see these Twitter accounts, all these followers, Instagram accounts, remember, a lot of these people buy followers. They're buying a number. Don't get fooled by the number. Look at the content of the person, because one thing about Bossman, ENT, Erica, and myself and Nique, we will call out all frauds. We'll take on all frauds. We can find frauds out. Not hard. Not hard. Not hard. So, people, in closing, when you get into somebody dealing with somebody's business, please, no LOLs when you're doing business stuff. Understand there's an agreement, a contract. Understand that an agreement is an agreement. So some are gentlemen's agreements, some are not. Like a lease agreement is technically a contract, okay? Don't get that confused. But, because it has some I, we, he, all that garbage in it, okay? Sometimes you have some non-binding agreements, you have stuff like that. Understand every agreement or document you see is not a freaking contract. Get that through your thick, ridiculous skulls, okay? And if you're an aspiring writer, if you're seeing your manager getting all the bank and the bankroll and the cake, and you're not getting nothing but a few followers here and there, and credential here or there, you might want to rethink that, okay? I'm just saying. And also, don't be manipulated by your managers. Don't let them feed you cock a bull. And just, folks, just like this show says, think with logic, not with emotion. So, if Nique's on Twitter, I don't know if he's on Twitter or not, still Nique, at Nique Go Bacon, at Asaya85, at My TrueSpeech, and also at your other Bossman, at the Bossman Show, at Bossman ENT Group, and, of course, at this show right here, Think with Logic TV. That's Think without an I with Logic TV. And YouTube, as always, to subscribe to the channel for us. We'll hit a show up there next week, sometime this weekend. Think with Logic TV, please. And also subscribe to the Bossman Show. And this has been our show tonight. Business 101, Logic people, we out.